guys, welcome back to episode 58 of Telepathy. We're finally on an even number. Shout out to last episode if you didn't.
Yes, I was just about to say.
Yes, we talked about in last episode how 57, like episode number 57 just didn't sit right with us because
Yeah.
something about odd numbers sometimes are like, ugh. So glad to be moving on to 58.
Welcome to the podcast for this week. Today we're going to be talking about numbers, all things numbers, our favorite numbers, how we learned to count,
Yes.
just
No, it
taking you
actually took me a
through all of
second.
that.
I was like, wait, what's the episode for today? And then you said numbers, and I was
Yeah,
like, wait, no, I know it was, I can't remember what it was, but it was not that. Today we're talking
No,
about
yeah.
introverts versus extroverts and sort of how we think we sit on that spectrum and just like what we think it means and how we think that the meaning of it has been misconstrued throughout society. Just dropping some big buzzwords because we're at the beginning of the episode.
Yes,
And I need you
yes.
guys to think that we're just really intelligent people.
Exactly. But before we become intelligent, we're going to do a bit of silly stuff that we always do, which is our icebreakers. And if you're new to this episode or new to this, well, everyone's new to this episode technically. If you're new to
True.
this podcast and you don't know what the icebreakers are, let me inform you. Basically, we'll start it off with the camp question. Okay, name, age, and what's your go-to like appetizer at a restaurant?
I love this question. Wait, this could go so many different ways.
I knew you were gonna love this
Thank you.
question.
I am such a foodie. Okay. Hello, I'm
No,
Enzo.
wait.
Oh, sorry.
Speaking of like, sorry,
It's okay.
I like totally just interrupted
No,
you.
please do. I
Speaking
was
of
like,
being a foodie, speaking of being a foodie, I genuinely can't imagine living a life like as a not foodie. Because yesterday we were in this Uber, and our Uber driver was like, well, we were just like really hitting it off with him and like talking.
uh-huh.
And my roommate Maggie, who, if you don't know, you can learn more about her in our 2 episodes ago. Yes or
Yes.
pass. But
Hyperfixations.
she asked him like, where do you like to go eat here in LA? And he was like, honestly, I'm not really a foodie. Like and he's a vegetarian, which makes a little more sense, but also like, I don't know, like I just can't picture not being a foodie.
I feel like people who normally follow like dietary plans, like being a vegetarian, pescatarian, veganism,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like normally they really appreciate food and that's why they choose to,
Yeah.
follow kind of like diets like that. So
Yeah,
that kind
that's
of
true.
surprises me. But no, yeah, food, like it's so, like I love expanding my food palette, like trying new foods. It's like,
Same.
oh, it's like discovering a new, I was gonna say discovering a new drug. I don't know why I was gonna say that. I was not gonna say that, guys. I don't know, I just like what came to my mind. But continuing, I guess, I'm Enzo, I'm 17, and oh, okay. This sounds really like not sophisticated and American of me, and that's why I'm like a little bit hesitant about saying this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think I know what you're gonna say.
wait, do you want
Wait,
to guess?
can
Wait,
we wait,
telepathy
can we do
style.
telepathy style? I just
Yes.
remembered that
Wait.
that's the thing.
Okay. Hold on. I'm restarting. So our telepathy style camp question, it's basically a wild card that you can pull and then you have to like introduce yourself as the other person and answer for them. So scratch everything I just said. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm 21 and I feel like my favorite appetizer, this might have changed over the past few years, but I love some calamari.
Yes, you
Yeah, I
got
got it. I
it.
got it. Yes.
You got it.
Yes. I'm so glad. Okay. I feel like you're gonna
Wait,
get this. You're gonna
whatever
get this.
whatever noise you just made was so funny.
No, I've made some strange noises in this podcast, and if you're listening with headphones, I apologize that I had to do this in your ear. Well, I guess if you're
You
not
looked
listening in
you
headphones,
looked
I'm so sorry if I just
oh
had to
my
like make that
gosh.
noise in your car or something.
You looked so excited.
I did get really
Yeah,
excited.
I just had calamari last night actually.
Oh my
And also
gosh.
like our favorite place Capri Club, they have really good calamari.
I
But
love
also we went
that.
to this other place last night and got calamari.
I
But
don't
yes,
know.
you're
I
right.
don't know if I've announced this yet, but I got this mic stand. So basically, it's this thing that like screws into the side of my bed. And so I'm just sitting on my bed, hands free, talking into the mic. And I don't know if it's changed how I've podcasted in the past few episodes, but before I used to hold the mic and I'm just like sitting here and I'm scared it's now allowed me to make weird sounds and do weird gestures. So I'm like
Yeah,
getting
what I
anxious.
still can't get over what I wish I had that like screen recorded, whatever like
I did a little
thing
dance
you
on my
just
bed. Like I was
did.
sitting here, I was like,
It
yes.
was so funny. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Enzo. I'm 17. And this might sound like a little bit American of me, just like, but I get this all the time and it's mozzarella sticks.
Yes, yes.
I got
Yes, you
it.
got it.
Yay. Wait.
Um, I will
You just did
say,
the thing again.
I kind of did. I got too happy. I like, I had a feeling that you would get it, but I was like kind of scared. Okay, some
The
other
way you
honorable
like paused,
mentions.
you like paused after I said it and I was so scared that I didn't get it right.
No, no, you absolutely did get it. Some honorable mentions are fresh spring rolls, also bruschetta, not bruschetta. Just putting that out there. Is really good. Um,
Oh, I loved in your video the other day when you were getting something out of the
oh,
freezer and
sorbetto.
what was it? Yeah, you're like sorbetto.
Yes. Okay.
That was funny.
Anyways, yeah, those were some honorable mentions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Amazing. It's funny, my family has I feel like there's like appetizer families and non-appetizer families, and my family's definitely a non-appetizer family. But like I feel like whenever we'd go out to eat with you guys, we would get appetizers and calamari was always my favorite. And then
See, I feel like my
recently,
parents only get appetizers when they're going out to dinner with people, but normally we don't unless it's like a specific place where they have stuff that we like, or it's an Italian
mhm.
restaurant and we know the owner and they're just continuing to bring out appetizer after appetizer and they weren't even ordered, but like shout out still, I
I love
guess.
that. No, shout out to like Paolo when we were in Rome and he
Yes.
kept bringing out appetizers and then we could not eat our main meal. So then he literally like ate some of our main meal for us.
My dad's cousin, by the way, icon.
I love him. Um, okay, music shout out.
Yes, that was a long camp question. Guys,
It
bear with
was.
us. Okay, so my music shout out. I have two songs. The first one is called All Bad Scores or All Bad Score Emulations, kind of a long title by Drag Me with two A's. I think this like came up in an autoplay or something, but it's the super like dreamy kind of synth vibe, I guess. And I just like am really
Mm-hmm.
drawn to songs like that. So when I heard it, I was like, into the August playlist you go, mama. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. It sounds good.
Yes. And you can talk about where you might find that song in just a moment. But my
Uh-huh.
second shout out is Guess featuring Billie Eilish, Charlie XCX,
Mm.
the remix. Tell me why. I listened to this for the first time when I was coming back from work and it was like a night drive and I had the windows down and as soon as Billy's part came on, like I I don't even know like what to say. I was just like I was sat like in that moment I was like, yes, ma'am, like, yes, Billy, like tell me what to
It's
do.
so good.
And then the music
It's so
video, I
good.
was like, is it hot in here, guys? I'm
I
just
never
kidding.
watched
You
it.
did it? Oh my gosh. No, it's
Not yet.
beautiful.
My music shout out is this album that I kind of got back into recently. It's called Isola or Isola by Kent. It's like a 90s Swedish rock album, apparently. And I listened to it a lot last year, and then I just like, I don't know, I rediscovered it, I guess. And it's just like the whole album is so good, but I'm gonna shout out the song If You Were Here. And it's very like, I don't know, it's such a good album. And then I discovered that they have the full album also in Swedish.
Okay.
So I was like listening to it a bit because I have my playlist called Something Lingual,
Getting ready
and
to go
it's
to
just
Sweden.
that's unrelated.
Oh.
That's actually unrelated.
That's actually not has nothing to do with anything. Like that
It,
does
it
not exist
actually,
in the
it
context.
actually, no, it doesn't exist in the context. This is actually is random. Um, but I have my playlist Something Lingual, and it's where I just add all of all the songs that are in different languages. And I was like, oh, well, here's another one. So I have have expanded my something lingual playlist.
Yes.
And
But speaking of playlist,
speaking of playlist, where can you find said telepathy playlist? Asks our listener. Well, listener, thanks for asking that question. Wow. Everyone asks
that was
this.
some really good back and forth.
Everyone asks this as if we don't say this in every episode. It's like I feel like a teacher whose student keeps asking to go to the bathroom. Um,
Oh, so relatable.
and you can find this playlist by going to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. Go to our highlight titled playlist and click on the link to the Telepathy playlist. And it's on Spotify, and you can see all of our great music picks
Yes.
provided fresh to you every week.
Yes. So glad that you clarified that because literally the other day at work, so I was just like standing there and somebody like runs up to the counter and I was like, okay. I was like, hi, like, what can we get started for you? And they were like, oh my gosh, like, where do you put all of your music shout outs that you like from the podcast? And I was like, oh my God, like, everyone keeps asking me this. Like, it is in the telepathy playlist.
Why was I not following that where that story was gonna
It's
go at
actually been
all?
my new favorite thing is to start telling stories, but then they like lead to a joke. And I feel bad because it's kind of like wasting like 2 minutes of someone's life.
Well, yeah, that's it. Do you have a movie or TV shout out?
I watched The Hunger Games.
Really? I thought you hated that
Lord, let
movie.
me please start something new. I know, I hate The Hunger Games. Never seen it. Yep. No, I'm like, ugh, can I please watch something new for once? Maybe I will.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't have any. I think we'll watch a movie. Me and Maggie might watch a movie tonight, though, so maybe it'll be something shout outable. Do you have any week recap?
Nothing major.
Didn't we just record like what on
Yeah,
Tuesday?
we've kind of been on top of it. Like, not much as
We have.
I honestly,
We're so good at being podcasters.
yes. It's just like another thing that I'm adding to my like YouTuber, chef, podcaster,
Chef.
indie musician. Like, guys, the job titles are
True.
insane.
Your resume looks
Resume
crazy and just so
stacked.
unorganized.
Resume stacked, wallets fat. What else rhymes? I don't know. Okay, I am like not functioning in this
Well, do you have any
episode.
week shout outs?
I guess nothing's happened this week except for like editing. I did like a service project at the beach yesterday. I saw Cage the Elephant last night. So I guess like yesterday was kind of eventful. Cage the Elephant was really good. Was very excited to see that. I thought they were gonna cancel the show because it was thundering and lightning, but like they still went on. So I was like, okay.
What was your favorite live song that they played?
Um, maybe Telescope or also like Neon
I
Pill.
knew you were gonna say that.
Really
I
telepathy
knew you were gonna
style
say
question.
that.
Um,
I know you love
yes,
Telescope.
also Neon Pill.
Oh, I remember seeing Telescope live and it was so
I
good.
don't think you understand. Exactly.
Neon Pin.
Also, Neon Pill was
Yeah,
good
I wish I could have
because they
gone.
only played like
Hmm.
2 songs from their new album, but that was one of them, and it was
Really?
yeah. I was like, okay,
Wait, now I really wish I'd gone because like I honestly haven't listened to their new album that much, even though it's really good
they
from
only
what I
played
remember.
Neon Pill and Rainbow. I think I don't know if they cut it because of
Oh,
the. I don't think they cut
oh,
it. It was still like the full show, but I also really like the song "Same" from their new album.
I
So
need to listen to it more again because I did really like it. I just like, I think I was at a point where I like didn't feel like, sometimes when a new album comes out and you just don't feel like putting in the effort to actually like listen
that's
to
so
it.
true. I think it was also during a
Maybe,
period of
maybe
time.
that's a bad
I think
sign.
it came out on the same day as like 5 other albums.
That's true. That it came out the same day as Billie Eilish and like maybe even Brat, or no, not Brat, but like still around the same time as like all these
Yeah.
big new
And honestly,
albums
when
to where it kind
Billy's
of got
album came
pushed to the
out,
back burner.
oh my gosh, the chokehold that had on me, I was like, leave me alone.
Oh,
I couldn't stop.
and it came out around the same time as Wallows and 21 Pilots too.
Oh, okay. I actually never listened
So
to the
yeah,
21
that was a
Pilots
crazy
album.
time.
Okay, do you have any
It was good.
really?
It was good, but it was also like the Cage the Elephant one where I kind of got pushed to the back burner.
Yeah.
Also Wallows too. It was like Wallows. I'm not a huge fan of Wallows' new album, honestly. Like I haven't really like
I think I liked it better than their second album.
what's their second album?
The Tell Me It's Over, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't even I feel like I just really like their first album and none of their other music really hits
I
the
think we just
same.
need the same air. Like I think if their new album came out during like the quarantine,
True.
like Hilton Head aesthetic, which we all know and love, or not all know and love, because
We
it's
all know
just
and
me and
love the
Anna went
Hilton
to.
Head aesthetic.
Literally, it's like I would say I am a Wallows fan, but I actually don't know how we got to any of this. But do you have
Hmm.
any week recaps before
Well,
we like since we can't shut up?
yeah, I don't have like too much of a week recap, but today we just went and hiked up to the Hollywood sign.
Oh,
And like I literally just got back like an hour and a half ago. It was really cool. We only went up to like really this viewing platform that has the best view of the Hollywood sign. We didn't go up to the top where you're like behind the Hollywood sign. Because by the time we got up to the viewing platform, it was just like really hot, and we were kind of just like, this is good enough. So then we turned back around.
yeah. You were like, this is the best we can get. Let's
Like,
just stop here.
yeah, like it was fun, and I would love to do the full hike on like a cooler day, but I genuinely was like, I might actually pass out if I have to keep going up this hill.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, probably a good decision.
Yeah.
Okay, introverts and extroverts. Where to begin? I
What
think we should
are
start off with
they?
the definition
Yes.
because I feel like it's something that everyone's like, duh, like I know what that is, but do you really know what that is? Ask yourself. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, let's look up the definition from our queen,
Because we're
Google.
just so studious.
Indeed. Okay, so we have some various definitions.
Mm.
So, a typically reserved or quiet person who tends to be introspective and enjoys spending time alone. No, introverts are typically more comfortable interacting with small groups of people rather than large groups at parties, in parentheses. Um, okay, an extrovert is defined as someone who feels energized by the external world and social interactions.
Well,
Okay, so first of all, where do you think you
I feel like well,
lie
first off,
in
I feel like
this?
the definitions you just gave were like in two different realms.
Right, like I feel like they weren't on par with what I was thinking.
Well, I feel like I feel like they designed I can't talk. I feel like they defined extrovert as what I would define it, which is that you get energy from the external world. I like that. I like that. I actually really like the way that they put that, the external
Yeah,
world. Whereas introverts, but the way they said that introverts, the way they said it, like they typically like to be introspective more, or like, which I guess makes sense if you call introspective like the internal world, but I feel like the specifics they gave weren't really applicable to all introverts. Like how they said they would prefer to be in a smaller group at a party, or blah blah blah.
right.
Because wait, what's this? There's some quote. Maybe it's a song lyric. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. But
Okay, I'm gonna
there's something
try.
that says, where is this from? Being at a large party is more intimate than being at a small party.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely been talked about in a song before.
What is that
I have
from?
no idea.
Anyways, it's like, or like being in a large group is more intimate than being in a small group. But the way they put it is different. So
Yeah.
I don't think the way I said it just makes it sound the same. But like, oh, somebody says, I like oh, it's like okay, this is the quote. Somebody said, like, I like large parties because they're more intimate. What is that from?
That is cool. Like that's something that I would totally get like tattooed, even though I don't
Wait,
really live by that because like I don't like large parties, but I love like a good mini little punchline quote. I'm just stalling while Anna looks up where this is from, by the way.
okay, wait. Oh, duh. It's from The Great Gatsby.
Oh, I
Um,
probably should have known that. I absolutely should
I
have.
should have known that too. Jordan says, I like large parties. They're so intimate. At small parties, there isn't any privacy. That's what
Oh,
it
we like
is.
absolutely deciphered that in AP Lang, and I'm sitting here like in summer, like I have no idea where that quote is
No,
from.
wait. Because at small parties, it's like everybody has to know about you because everybody's listening to you talk. Whereas large parties, it's more intimate because if you're talking to like one person,
Oh, it's like out of
it's
all the
like,
people in the room, like we chose to talk to each
it's
other.
like,
Wait, that's kind
yeah.
of like sweet. I don't know. The reason why I wanted to read the definitions originally is because throughout my life, I've been convinced that everybody's had it like the wrong way and that the definitions have been skewed because I feel like people always say like, am I an introvert, extrovert based on the kind of life that they live? When in reality, I feel like that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
normally, like, it doesn't always align with if you're an introvert or extrovert because I don't know, like some lives just are more extroverted and some introverts have to live those lives, whether that's, I don't know, like working in big groups or just like doing stuff, you know? Like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I always thought that being an introvert just meant you recharge your battery through being alone. An extrovert is like you recharge through being social and just being with people. And I don't think that's entirely wrong. I just feel like the definition is so broad. I don't know.
I feel like that is how I would define it, but also I feel like I've just started to realize that nothing is black and white.
For
And
sure.
I feel like you can't just say, like, are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Because I don't think many people identify with being, like, just an introvert or just an extrovert. And I feel like it actually takes, like, a very specific person to identify solely with either of those now that I think about it. Like, for example, yeah, so we should say, like, what we think we are. So, like, I feel like I went my whole life thinking I was an introvert. And growing up, I was like super quiet and like shy, like would not like talk to anyone or anything. But with my close friends, like you and Carolina, for example, like I was super like not quiet, you know?
Yeah.
But then now that I've gotten older, I think especially in college, I've become more it's become like easier for me to like talk to people and stuff, and I feel like even like in the past two, like maybe just in the past year, I've found myself like talking so much with new people where I almost am like, am I annoying? Because I'm talking so much. Like, what if they think I'm annoying? And, but about the energy thing, like, I would say I'm probably an ambivert because, and it comes down to the type of person I'm hanging out with. So it's like the type of person I'm hanging out with determines if I'm gonna need introvert time to recover from it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah. Like, I have people who, like, I know don't drain my social battery. And then, not to say that I have people that I know will drain it, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, for example, last night, this is a good example. Last night, I was at this bar with like my roommate and then her friend who was visiting for the weekend, and then also this guy that her friend was friends with in high school that we like invited. And for some reason, I feel like I felt more drained. Maybe it was because it was like a higher percentage of slightly new people that maybe I felt more drained, but also like a few months ago when I started my internship, I went out to this jazz bar with like all the new interns that I'd met just that day, and I didn't really feel drained. So I don't know. I feel like it genuinely just depends on like the person. And I don't even know what would make that person drain me or not. Like it just I don't even
Yeah.
know.
I once again agree that it's not like a black and white thing. And also, I think that there's so many different scenarios where I'll go like the more like introverted route, and there's other scenarios where I would pick like what like the extrovert would typically choose or whatever. But
Mhm.
I feel like I kind of grew up, I don't know, like I went to a smaller school in elementary school, so definitely I was more talkative, but like looking back, like I don't think that stems from like extroversion. I think it's more like, I don't know, like seeking validation or just like just stuff like that, you know? So I feel like I can't really judge it from that, but I would say I absolutely do recharge through just being by myself. Like definitely during breaks from school and like the weekend and stuff. You know, I do
Mhm.
love seeing people and all of that, but if I don't get my time to just like, I don't know, kind of be in my room, do my thing, you know? And I guess that's why I kind of do
Mhm.
love like editing and stuff because it's really just like hobbies that you can kind of just like sit in your room and just like do. So you're not like just like rotting necessarily or just being unproductive, but you're not like around a bunch of people, which I don't know.
Right.
Um, but another thing that I was thinking about is like definitely at bigger events, I will always gravitate towards the people that I'm more familiar with
Yeah.
just because I feel like talking to new people, like it definitely drains my battery, but I'd say that people would assume that like an introvert would, I don't know, when meeting somebody new, be like really shy and like wouldn't talk.
Mhm.
But also, I would consider myself to be more on the introverted side, but sometimes when meeting new people, I feel like I'm almost like overly talkative, but in a way that's not like super outgoing, but more because my fear of something being really awkward, like awkward silence I hate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always trying to fill silence. So it's like there's a lot of things going on. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not just
Yeah.
are you picking the introvert route? Are you picking the extrovert route? Like I think like your personality is so much more sophisticated and layered just to be like summarized by introvert extrovert, which I
Yeah.
guess why that's why there's more in like the Myers-Briggs test. There's multiple letters, but
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah, wait,
know,
what's your Myers-Briggs?
I think I'm an INFJ,
Okay.
INFP. Wait, let me find the screenshot.
I'm an INTJ. Although, just literally the other day, I was thinking that I want to retake it. Maybe I'll do it after this, after I record this, because I feel like I feel like in the past year, I've like learned so much more about myself for some reason. And I kind of want to retake it because I genuinely do feel like I've gone through like a big like personality change this year. I don't know why. But and I feel like I'd be able to answer some of the questions more like solidly because I've like learned more about myself. Like whereas maybe in the past I was more guessing about certain things. I don't know. But also, yeah, wait, did you find yours?
So I'm an INFP. I've taken it before and gotten INFJ, but INFP was my most recent um
Okay.
one. And like what do you know which one you got? I got the mediator. Or no, I've gotten INF both times, but the J and the P switched. But P was my most recent result.
Okay, INTJ is the architect,
Okay.
which I need to read more about like what that means. Maybe
Right.
it's like they construct their
Should we
life more.
take
I
like
don't
a
know.
BuzzFeed introvert versus extrovert test?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
Also, wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, just that like recently, it's like I maybe I just really am an ambivert because I keep like trying to decide which one I am, but I keep coming back to like I don't know. But when I started considering like maybe I am because I went my whole life being told like I'm an introvert, I'm so quiet, like blah blah blah. But when I started being like maybe I am a bit of an extrovert is like when I in 2021 when I worked at Starbucks, I like would get back home from work late at night and I would just be like talking my family's ear off about like blah 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 everything that happened.
Wait,
And then I was
same.
like and I would have so much energy and I was like after working like 5 hours in a food service job, I feel like I should be like wanting to just go sleep, but my brain would be wired for like an hour or an hour and a half. Also, maybe it's because I was working at a place that serves caffeine and maybe I was getting caffeine. Who knows? Although I think I made decaf because back when I was still hashtag decaf before death. It could be overstimulation genuinely
Oh, for sure.
like work could be a bad example because maybe I was just overstimulated by the amount of but it was by the amount of like conversation I was having with people. So I don't know. But also like then a few weeks ago, I was like home alone or like I was living alone for the whole week because my roommate was out of town and I got super like I don't know, I just got kind of like
Yeah.
lonely almost and I just like wanted to FaceTime a bunch of people and call a bunch of people and I was FaceTiming like all these people that I hadn't like I'm not really much of a FaceTimer like unless it's like my mom but then I was FaceTiming all these people and it's like I just like feel like I needed the energy from like the external world as they say.
No, I get that. But I feel like also things like this, because in my mind, like I feel like an introvert can feel loneliness. Maybe not as often as an extrovert, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's just some things like nothing's off limit just because you're an extrovert, introvert. Like I feel like
Yeah.
we're all still gonna feel different
Right.
feelings that the average human feels in a lifetime. But I don't know. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Do you want to take the test now?
Yes.
Okay, I sent you the
Okay.
link. Okay, so it says no matter where you fall on the introvert slash extrovert slash ambivert scale, this quiz can tell you which label most applies to you. Take it and share your results. Okay, You would arrive, or okay, you arrive at a house party, but no one you know is there yet. What do? So the first option is grab a drink and go and join a conversation. Dash, new friends aren't going to make themselves. Option two is try to make yourself invisible by standing in the corner and staring at your phone. Yikes. Third option is loiter near the stack table and hope someone starts up a conversation with you. Option four is go and hide in the toilet and text your friend, okay, telling them to get there urgently.
Hide in the toilet.
Fifth option is see if you can find the host and introduce yourself. It's only polite. Last option is get the hell out of there and try again later.
Um,
I wouldn't say like on the spectrum I'm not a total introvert. However, I think in this situation I could not see myself staying. I would say get the hell out of there and try again later. Like I don't know.
really.
I don't know. My brain was kind of like, yeah, but like I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Sorry, I kind of like cut off whatever you were going to
I
say.
guess, well, no, no. I guess I would definitely, I think I would be try to make yourself invisible by standing in the corner and staring at your phone because I think maybe I've done that before. Maybe I would get out of there, but that wouldn't mean like literally leave. I'd probably just go stand out on the sidewalk. But like, I'd probably just stand in the corner.
Yeah, I think I would get to a place maybe in the same vicinity, but I would not still be at that house party. I don't know. There's a few
Yeah,
like options, like if we put like context to it, because you exist in the context. Like you would
exactly.
arrive at a house party, and let's say there's somebody that you barely know, but I would probably try to find like an acquaintance,
Yeah.
which I know like isn't in this situation, but if I was meeting friends and they weren't there yet, but I saw somebody that I know that is like a friend of a friend, or I know that like we at least like know about each other's existence,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I would find that person, but other than that, I would leave.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the last one.
All
What
right,
about you?
Tay. I'm going at the corner, yeah.
Okay, I'm going with get the hell out of there and try again.
The next one is you're at a karaoke bar and everyone is insisting it's your turn to sing. What do you do? Flat out refuse. You're not going to get peer pressured into leaving your comfort zone.
Okay.
Get them to put on your favorite song and get straight up there. It's your time to shine. Next is agree to do it, but only if a couple of friends do it with you. Next is make an excuse by saying you're going to get a drink, but then maybe you'll do it later. And karaoke bars are the worst. You'd never be in there in the first place.
Honestly, this one, I might say get them to put on your favorite song and it's your time to shine. Just because, as like a theater kid, like I feel like I would do,
Mm-hmm.
like part of me would be like, oh my gosh, like put on Poor Unfortunate Souls and I'll be up there. But then again, I'm thinking about when we went to an actual karaoke bar. Do you remember that on the cruise?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. And like I would only do it if you and Carolina were gonna do it. So
yeah.
it's like it's hard because I'm trying to like picture it in real life scenarios, but
I was between that too because so my real life scenario I was thinking of because I've never actually done karaoke like in front of I've like I really have never done true karaoke. I don't feel like except
yeah,
for when I was a kid maybe.
exactly.
But when I was in Rome studying abroad, we went to this Irish pub and yes, an Irish pub in Italy. And
Wow.
people were doing karaoke and I just like really wanted to do karaoke and I was trying to convince all my friends to do it and nobody wanted to do it. But it's like I wasn't going to do it by myself, you know, like I was like we can either take turns or we can all do it together. And then we were like about to do it, but then I got a little text and we kind of freaked out, so we left. But um,
Yeah.
then the karaoke didn't happen, let's just say. Um, and but I'm gonna go with agree to do it, but only if a couple of friends do it with you because I don't think I would just go up and do it by myself. Like
Yeah, I'm also gonna say that
I would do
because
it in like a taking turns context, but I wouldn't just be the only one out of my group to ever do karaoke
right.
that
If there
night.
was close friends and it's like, okay, it's your turn, I would be like, okay, everybody did their time, like it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
But and of course I have this like picture perfect scenario where I'm like, oh yes, and then they put on a song and I absolutely kill it. But like that's not. So I'm gonna agree to
Yeah.
do it, but only with a couple of friends as well.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. How do you feel when making small talk? Option one, a bit awkward, but I cope fine. It's a part of life. Option two, always extremely conscious of what the other person thinks of me. Option three, great. It's always fun to get to know new people. Four, it always feels a little pointless, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Last option. It's okay, but I prefer to listen than to talk about myself.
I think I'm between a bit awkward, but I cope fine. It's a part of life, and always always extremely
Same.
conscious of what the other person thinks of me. Cause like,
Being perceived is a huge issue for me.
yeah, but I feel like it depends on the person. Cause sometimes the small talk might be going really well, and it's like, oh, like if it's actually interesting small talk, it's like fine. But if it is more awkward, then I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is like,
Right. I
what
kind
are
of
they
want
thinking
I
of
want to
me?
combine one and two, like always extremely conscious of what the other person thinks of me, but it's a part of life. Like I feel like that's
Yeah,
just the
no,
kind of what I
literally.
live by is like in the moment I kind of am like not having it, but I'm like, okay, this is just something that you have to do, whatever. It's like I am extremely conscious.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm in that many scenarios where I'm like making small talk. I might go with a bit
Yeah,
awkward.
but then I'm the type of person too, is like after I make small talk, then the whole like literally 30 minutes after it happens, I'm like repeating over the whole conversation in my head. It's the worst.
Okay, same. That was okay. I'm thinking about prom because prom was just a night full of random small talk.
Mm-hmm.
Was so boring and pointless. Like, not to be like, oh, I'm so quirky. I didn't like prom, but it was just a bunch of small talk. And it was people that I knew, but it was like a bit awkward. But I was like, it's fine. Like, this is just prom. But also, like, I was very conscious of what the person was thinking about me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll just go with a bit
Yeah.
awkward. I don't know.
Okay, the next one is your phone rings but you don't recognize the number. What do? Pick it up. Obviously, it might be important. Next, quickly Google the number and try to find out who it could be. Next, let it ring out. There's no way you're speaking to some stranger. 4 is pick up, but only if you aren't doing anything. And 5 is throw your phone into a river and emigrate to Peru. What?
Definitely let it ring out. I'm sorry, but I don't answer any number that I don't
I
know.
don't either. And that's not really in a, like, I don't want to talk to people way. That's more in just like a, if somebody's calling me and I don't know who it is, it's probably a scam because I just don't call people.
Yeah, I don't get calls like that are like, hello, am I speaking to blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Hi, this is me from blah, blah, blah. Like, I just don't get calls like that.
Although I think I'm going to say quickly Google the number and try to find out who it could be because I do actually do that. I sometimes Google the area code to see if it's like,
Oh,
or if it's like in my area code, I'll check just to see if it's like maybe a chance that it's somebody, but it's always spam because why would anyone call me?
yeah. Why would anyone call you? I'm just kidding. As we're sitting on a FaceTime recording a podcast, hashtag telepathy, go
Hashtag
stream.
telepathy.
Okay. What about if it's your friend calling? Oh, it's like a little follow up
Oh,
question. First answer is still don't pick up, but you'll text back saying you can't speak right now and ask what's up. Middle, pick up straight away, of course. Last one is but pick up but reluctantly because talking on the phone
I
sucks.
would say pick up straight away, of course.
Yeah, I don't ever normally just decline somebody because I'm like, oh, I don't feel like talking to you, just because I don't like call somebody often and like I don't get calls often. So if somebody's calling me, it's usually because there's like something going on. So I will pick up.
No, yeah, if somebody's calling me like spontaneously, it's probably because something's like going on. Because most of the times I do call people,
Exactly.
it's like we planned and we literally just texted like 2 minutes ago, like, okay, I'll call you in like 1 minute. Like,
Right. Wait, is this just like a Gen Z thing?
yeah, because,
Wait, our last episode
be,
is Gen Z doomed? Go
yeah,
listen.
so true. Because also, yeah, that's so interesting because I never would just like call somebody and be like, "Hey, are you free to talk right now?" I would more text them and see if like when they'll be free to talk. Or like if I'm gonna FaceTime my mom, I usually look at her location. Hi mom, if you're listening. I know you're
Yes,
listening.
hello.
But I look at like her location to see if she's at home. And if she's at home, then I'll FaceTime her. But if it looks like she's running errands, then I'll just wait till she gets home.
Exactly. So
Because
pick
I'm a
up straight away, of
stalker.
course, is the obvious answer for me.
Yeah. Okay. Your colleagues are having a light-hearted conversation round the table at the pub. You are A, leading the conversation and probably making a laugh in the process. Oh, making people laugh in the process. 2, chipping in with jokes quite often and taking control of the conversation when you can. 3, talking when you feel comfortable but mostly listening from the fringes. 4, listening and feeling a little awkward, but not feeling confident enough to talk much. And 5, at home watching Netflix on the sofa.
Oh, I hate like that last option. Like, obviously, I would like to just be on the couch watching TV, but why do they always put that there as if like you decided to not go? Like,
Yeah, and they
do you
need
know what I
to,
mean?
that's such like millennial, I feel like, thing to,
Right, like ditch that answer. Like, let's be honest, we're talking about some
if
sort of
you are.
event that we felt like we had to be
And
there.
also,
So it's
like,
like,
yeah, we need to factor in FOMO because I'm never just gonna pass up a night with my colleagues at the pub.
duh, like, okay,
Um,
also, like, I'm not one to cancel plans usually. Like, that's just, I don't have it in me to cancel a plan just because I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. Not that like people don't have their reasons and stuff, but if I made a commitment, I will likely go 95% of the time. So I don't know. I won't be on the couch, unfortunately, but I would say I do chip in with jokes. Sometimes I am not talking about anything substantial and I just add a little comedic relief.
mhm.
Um, but do I take control of the conversation when I can? I've definitely steered conversations, but I definitely like listening and then like commenting when I
Yeah,
feel comfortable, you know?
I'm gonna say that one too.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna say talking when you feel comfortable, but mostly listening from the fringes, because I feel like if it's with new or if it's with colleagues, aka coworkers, if you're from America, I feel like with coworkers I'd be less comfortable around them than with friends. So I'd be more likely to just talk when I feel comfortable and listen from the fringes. But if it's like my friends, I'm more likely to like lead the conversation.
For sure. I'd say definitely in this scenario, which actually like recently had something like this, I definitely was not leading any conversations. Was I chipping in jokes? Yes, but I'm still probably gonna go with when I feel comfortable because when it says talking when you feel comfortable, like that talking could still mean jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like being alone? First answer is I love it and I prefer it to being with people. Second option is no, I absolutely hate it. Option three is I need my alone time sometimes, but too much gets me down. Last option is yeah, I enjoy both being alone and being around people. I would say probably like I need my alone time, but like also the first option, I feel like I need one more that's like a little bit
Yeah.
like not as neutral, but not as like I feel like there's like an agree and then somewhat agree, but I need like or wait, there's like a neutral and then a strongly agree, and I need like a slightly agree option.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm gonna go with I need my alone time sometimes, but too much gets me down because I mean, I feel like I like to convince myself that being alone in my room for a while is gonna like be good, but then I feel like naturally it just has its downfalls because like I feel like humans are social creatures, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna go with the same one as you because that's what I've realized recently is like I also just I genuinely don't feel like I could live alone because I do like literally start to go insane. Like legitimately.
But that's the thing is like I've always wanted to live alone. And like I even like dread having roommates in college.
Mhm.
And like last summer at the little summer camp thing I was at, I actually ended up not getting a roommate for just, you know, some reasons. And I ended up loving it. And like there was never a moment where I was like, oh, I wish I had a roommate. Other than like when I guess like the friends that I was there with, they all had roommates. And I felt like they were able to like get closer to each other. And I thought they were gonna like forget about me. But like
Mhm.
I still didn't necessarily want a roommate, you know?
Yeah. I
So
like
I
the
don't know.
idea. I love having like a weekend alone. Like that's so fun. Like sometimes when my roommates go out of town for a weekend, I really enjoy my
Yeah,
like me weekend, but near the end I start to kind of be like what is life? What is like I literally become like existential. Like I'm not even kidding.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I need my alone time sometimes, but too much gets me down. Okay, the next one we have four more. You've got big plans for Saturday night, but then they get canceled. How do you feel? Meh, you weren't that bothered about going out anyway. Gutted, you were really up for a big night and seeing all your friends. Actually, pretty relieved. Those kinds of things can be quite stressful, even if they do sometimes turn out to be fun. And 4, happy because you were planning on bailing anyway.
I don't know. Once again, I don't like canceling plans just because I don't know. I feel like it's a commitment. But if they already canceled, sometimes it is a relief because I'm like, yay, I just get to do nothing. But other times I really hate when I almost like schedule my life based on like what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, Friday night I have this, then Saturday night I'll have to be here. And I kind of like schedule my week around that. And like mentally, it's just like how I see things. And then when it gets canceled, I'm like,
It's like
excuse
this
me,
changes
like what?
everything. Yeah. No, literally.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
But I'm like, am I that gutted? I don't think so.
I feel like gutted is way too strong of a word for this, but I'm still gonna go with that one because I do like if somebody cancels plans, I actually do feel so sad because I usually look forward to that like the whole week, like plans like that. So I I do feel sad and I hate canceling
I don't
plans.
know. Honestly, this happened recently where there was something that I was like kind of anxious about going to. And then something came up and I was actually very, very relieved.
Mm,
So I think I'm going to go with the relieved option because unless it's like something with a really close friend, I'm normally on the relieved side, I
right.
think.
Right, right.
Oh, this next one. Okay. Do you have more than one version of yourself? Yes, I'm a lot more shy and reserved around colleagues and people I don't know. Next option is I act differently around different groups of friends, but am essentially the same all the time. Not at all. I'm just being me. Definitely that second one. Like I feel like I have like my work self, my school self, my at home self,
Mm-hmm.
my like it's actually kind of bad. So yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with yes, I'm a lot more shy and reserved around colleagues and people I don't know because most of the time it is like that unless I just like really hit it off with someone. But like most of the time at work, I'm pretty like I'm a bit more awkward and quiet, and then I open up slowly like as I get to know them.
Yeah. Um
It
I agree that I act differently around different groups of people, but I don't think I'm essentially the same all the time.
yeah,
And so that's why I'm like, huh.
it genuinely depends on the person. Like I feel like it's this is like not even a me thing. It's like it depends on the other person. Like because there are some people who I will meet and like never feel awkward around, and then there's some people that like even after knowing them for like years, I still can sometimes feel awkward.
I don't know. There's some groups of people where I'm actually very outgoing around them, but I still don't feel like I'm being 100% me. Like I still feel like I'm kind of putting on some sort of like I don't know, and I'm not trying to sound like a disappointment to society, but I feel like there are just some groups of people that I act very different around. And I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism or like what's going on, but I don't know. I feel like my level of outgoingness doesn't correlate with how much somebody knows me. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, it's not like the more that I talk, the more you get to know me. It's like sometimes I'm talking, but it's like, it's not me. It's not like the real me.
True.
And I don't know what I'm saying. So I don't know how to answer this one. Um,
True.
I'm gonna say that I act differently one because maybe it's just I overthink it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not being me,
Yeah.
but maybe I am essentially the same me. So I'm just gonna go with that one, I guess.
Okay, how do you spend your weeknights? Or how do you like to spend your weeknights? A, at home relaxing, watching TV on the internet or with a good book. B, I like to go out and see people once or twice a week when I can. C, I like to make as many plans as possible. Being alone is boring. D, I go along with most plans because of my crippling FOMO. And E, it totally depends on how I feel. Some weeks I'll be really busy, others I just want to chill.
I'm between the first and last. Because I mean, I guess maybe it does depend on me, but usually on the weekend, and this could just be because school is something that's really draining for me, like socially and just physically and all of
Hmm.
that. So then on the weekends, like I kind of just want to lay around the
No,
house.
it's on, but your weeknights. The question is your
Oh
weeknights.
wait, weeknights. I'm just literally stupid. Okay, weeknights I'm not doing anything. Sorry. Like I hate making plans during the week. So relaxing at home.
Cool.
Sorry.
I'm like torn between a few of them because typically it is at home relaxing, watching TV on the internet or with a good book. Literally all the above, like literally all those. I switch out every night. But I do go along with most plans because of my crippling FOMO. So I think I'm gonna go with it totally depends how I feel. Some weeks I'll be really busy, others I just want to chill. And I think it is totally not dependent on how I feel. It's dependent on if I get invited to stuff or not. Like if I get invited to something, like I'm going. So
Okay, maybe same. Even though, it's kind of weird. I almost like feel like I need to do more self-reflection because what I thought of myself as a human being recently, I have proved myself otherwise. For example, I was like, yeah, but then I was like, wait, I've like canceled like three plans in the last like month. Sorry.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with that home.
I genuinely like can't think of when I've ever canceled
If it's a
a
one-on-one
plan.
with somebody, I typically won't. If it's a group, maybe I'll accidentally disappear from that group occasionally. Apologies. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with that home one because, yeah, I don't know. These quizzes make me think.
Yeah, I know. I feel like also I feel like we need to I don't have did we did an episode on FOMO, did we? Or no?
We did.
I
With
think we
the
did.
at home with the bad case of FOMO.
Oh, right. I don't think we talked about this, but I feel like I probably got a lot of my FOMO from just like in elementary and middle school, just like literally being left out so much to where now I feel like if it's like if I choose not to go to something, it's like me choosing to be left out of something, and my childhood self would never want that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's like I have so much FOMO because I think of my past and that I feel the need to
like you're
go.
like living a life for your younger self. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this for you,
Yeah,
babes.
but it's also just that like if I were to not go to something, it would be like voluntarily choosing like what I had to go through when I was younger. I
Yeah,
don't know if that
no,
makes
that makes
sense.
sense. I
That
feel
would be
like
an
when I
interesting
started high
psychological
school,
study. What?
yes, when I started high school, I definitely felt like, oh, I don't want to go to the football games, but like, should I go? Like, everyone's going and everybody's posting. And I went to one and I hated it.
That's a good
I
example.
kind of just like stuck around this like mini little group, but it was awkward and I did not like it. So I was like, come pick me up, mother. And so then I went home and I think I went to like one other sophomore game, no, one other football game my sophomore year. And then that was it. So
That is
I
true.
don't think I felt FOMO like that. I don't know. I feel like definitely in smaller groups I felt FOMO, but in larger groups I don't really.
That's actually a good example. That makes me think now because like I totally did the same thing. Like I did not like going to football games, but in the only football games I ever went to, like I don't think I ever sat in the stands. I was either like there for marching band or there for like when I did videoing, when I was like a videographer of the like broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, the final question.
it's
Is
your
it my
turn.
turn to read it, I think?
Hmm.
Okay. How easy do you find it to say no? First option, very. I do it all the time. Second, I can't say no to anything because I hate missing out. Third option, I feel pressure to say yes sometimes, but normally do what I want to do. And last is, why would I even want to say no to stuff?
The last one kind of I felt targeted with that. I think I'm gonna have to go with why would I even want to say no to stuff?
I feel like I feel pressure to say yes. Like, okay, this is actually kind of a recent example of something, but there was like a group event happening and
Hmm.
another person, like there was kind of like one other person in the group that okay, well there was like two people in the group that I've hung out with outside of what we do.
Right.
And it was fine and I love them. And then somebody else who I would say I'm like really close with and like love seeing them. So I was like, yes. But then there was kind of like some other members that I felt super like, oh, I don't know you super well. Like, am I making this awkward? Did I get a pity invite? Um,
Mm.
and so those are kind of all the things going through my head. And so that's why I never always say yes because I kind of like imposter syndrome. And I think like, oh, like they accidentally invited me to this. Like they only invited me because
Mm.
of this reason. So that's why I'll like kind of
I
want to
think of
say
that
no a
sometimes
lot, but then
too.
I feel like pressured to say yes because then I'm like, oh, I'm like letting somebody down.
True.
So I think I'll do like the pressure to say yes option. But no, then it like got to a point where I was like kind of like ranting to a friend and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like going really scares me. And then she was kind of like, then just don't go. And I was like, oh, like I
Yeah.
forgot that that's actually an option. And then I was like, wait. And then I actually ended up going because it got rescheduled. Okay, so I canceled and then it got rescheduled.
That was such a plot twist. I
I
did not see that
I
coming.
know. I think we're far enough in the episode to where I can like talk about this and not be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I canceled and then it ended up getting rescheduled and I got convinced to go, so I went. And it was
No, I
fine.
start
So,
letting my true self out toward the end of the episode because I know that nobody's listening except for my mom.
yeah. Okay, so what are your predictions?
Well, I already clicked it and it already gave me the answer, but I would have predicted ambivert anyways, and I got ambivert. You're an ambivert, which means you're the perfect blend of introvert and extrovert. You're quite happy piping up in a group conversation, but normally when it's on a topic you feel very comfortable talking about. True. Very true. I'm the type of person that doesn't talk. Like, I only talk if it's like something I genuinely want to say, and that's why sometimes I feel like people view me as quiet, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, if I don't know what to talk about, I'm not going to talk. Because some people just talk to talk. Anyways, there, me like talking to talk right now. There are times when
It's
you,
okay. We're literally podcasters.
when, there are times when all you want to be is out having a laugh, having a little giggle with your friends. Quote by Declan McKenna. But then other times you just
Okay.
need to be at home alone, taking a break from it all. You identify with both introverts and extroverts because you are both. It just depends on how you feel that day. That's so true.
Okay, I love that. So, for my mild introvert description, I got you're an introvert, but not to the point that you like to always be alone and constantly let down your friends. You know the value of a God book. A good book, I think, is what it's trying to say. It's okay. We all have typos sometimes.
No, they meant the Bible. God
Yes,
book.
you know the value of a good book or a really great film, and your time by yourself is very important, but that doesn't mean you won't occasionally go along for drinks after work or the odd night out when you fancy it. Still, you're more
Whoever
of a
wrote this
listener
is
than a
definitely
speaker.
British.
I know. You're more of a listener than a speaker, and you're much happier being on the outside of a conversation looking in than being the center of attention. I would say that's true, but also, like, there's some situations, like, I feel like me when I'm with Anna and then my sister and then Anna's brother Kirk, like, I think I feel like I'm the definition of an extrovert, maybe?
Yeah.
Would you say
I
that?
feel like we just all become extroverted, except for maybe Kirk.
That's true.
Kirk just becomes more introverted.
Right. Kirk just, like, doesn't like us. I was gonna say, oh no, he's listening to this, but he's not listening because he doesn't like us.
That's so true. No, like it's true though. Um, yeah, I definitely think I'm an ambivert. I definitely think I started out as an introvert as a child and I slowly got more ambiverted. So maybe I'll die an extrovert.
I don't know. I feel like I am an ambivert, maybe, but also sometimes I'm like, maybe if I'm just like born to be an introvert, forced to be an extrovert. So I don't know.
Mm, true.
Like I feel like I'm a talkative person, but I don't
For
know. Like
me,
I
it's
feel like
like,
sometimes I talk more than I would like to. I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah. For me, it's like born to be an extrovert, forced to be awkward and shy.
Okay, yeah. No, I love that. Um, I actually left this episode feeling more lost, so
So true. No, I like how we made that quote that one time because now I sometimes feel that a lot.
I know. No, the one time that I had the podcast playing in the background and my dad was listening to it, and when you said, I feel like I know less than when we started with, he like that like took him out for some reason. He was like dying laughing, and I was like, okay, is that funny to you? Like,
Is it
so
funny to you that we're losing brain cells by having a
right, like does
podcast?
telepathy make you lose brain cells? Next episode.
Possibly. We'll have to do a study on my mom, measure her brain
Yes.
cell count, make her listen to telepathy the rest of her life, and then at the end of her life, measure her brain cell count
And
again.
like see like measure brain function. Anyways, that was the episode. Let us know if you learned something about yourself or if you took this quiz along with us. What did you get? We'll have the link.
Yeah, we'll have the link to the quiz in our Instagram stories.
I'll try to put it in the description of this episode too. I don't know if it's something you can click on, but I'll
You
put
can
some
type
sort of
it letter
link.
by letter.
Yes, exactly. So we hope you
Well,
enjoyed.
you could go to our YouTube description. We'll definitely have it, right?
Oh, yeah, I think
Or does it not work
so.
like that anymore?
I think it does. We have like a new system with how the podcast comes out onto YouTube, but we'll have
Yeah.
to check with our 50 million different agents and producers and editors that help with the podcast.
Mm-hmm. For
We don't
sure.
really do
We
anything.
can't
We
do
just
anything
sit here
without
and
them.
talk. I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
kidding. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you want to see more of us, come back next Tuesday for another episode and follow at the Telepathy Pod on Instagram and listen to the telepathy playlist and all of those things to keep telepathy in your mind 24/7. Don't think any other thoughts, just telepathy.
Oui. Dankeschön.
Okay, add that to the multi something lingual.
Something lingual. Dankeschön. No, I do have some German music. I got some German post-punk. I got some German like
Donkuvel. I think Donkuvel is Dutch. I think Dutch is very similar. So yeah, gracias, grazie, merci.
gracias para mucho. Gracias.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Which other ones do I
Um,
know?
au revoir.
Wait,
Um,
that's not thank you.
oh, I thought we were saying like bye and thanks. But oh yeah, it is
Oh, well, I
thanks.
guess we
Yeah.
could.
Merci.
Adios,
Um,
arrivederci, buenas noches, buonanotte, au revoir. Yeah, I guess. Okay, nobody asked for us
mm-hmm.
to do this.
Yeah, they've probably all clicked off by now.
If you haven't, we love you and
But
you
not
get a
you.
special extra goodbye from us.
Yeah. Um, goodbye.
Bye.